everybody. This is Lady Rage on Gamers Geek Radio. Tonight we have with us Travis, and our guest host is Josh from JB Dezigns. Good evening, everybody.
How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
So, Josh, you're an artist, right?
Yep.
And you do a lot of cons?
Yeah, I've been, the beginning of the year was a little slow. I did one in Fort Lauderdale with Jackpot Comic Con, and then I did one of, I just finished up MegaCon last month. And MegaCon went really well. Jackpot did not do so well. But the rest of the year is getting booked up pretty well.
Well, that's good. At least you're getting booked. I'm sorry that you're not, that it didn't go very well at that one place, but at least you're getting booked and you're getting out there.
Yeah. Even when it's a bad con or, you don't make the money you want, you're at least getting your name out there and getting new fans and getting things going. So, it's always the networking and meeting new people. I mean, it's even nice because you go to different areas. Like I was never in Fort Lauderdale before Shock Pop. So being down there, I got to meet some newer artists that I've never met before, and that's always great.
Make a good network, kind of a big family of artists.
Mm-hmm.
So Travis, do you want to start off with questions then?
What is the monster piece that you have behind you?
This is actually my brand new one. I'll scoot over a bit so everybody can kind of see it a little bit better. This is the 24-inch by 48-inch canvas painting done with acrylic paint, and it features Spider-Man in the center, facing down 20 of his most iconic villains. This is a second version of a villains piece that I've done. The first one was a Batman one called Long Night. And it was the same thing, Batman in the center with the villains across. So once I finished that one, I immediately had the Spider-Man idea and had to do it. So yeah, I just finished this up Monday for today's show, and I have 2 conventions coming up in the next couple weeks: Space Coast Nerd Fest and Hero Hype Con. So I wanted to bring a new big badass piece to show off.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Okay, now question for this is for people that are listening. Are you able to buy the original paintings?
Oh yeah, you can. I've never shipped one this big before because it's very expensive to ship a piece like this. But when I was just at MegaCon, I actually sold 7 original paintings. I sold the Batman. I have a Halo one that I sold, Captain America. So yeah, I sell everything that I create. I sell unless it's something personal. But yeah, everybody's able to buy stuff from me. Everything's available online at my new website, which is joshbauerartist.com.
What would be the most, besides the behemoth that you have behind you? So I really like that. I really like that picture because I like Spider-Man. Spider-Man's villains are somewhat lodged in my memory banks for years and years, being a '90s kid and everything else like that. But what other piece do you have? What other piece have you made that's really iconic? Besides the Batman one, because I've seen the Batman one.
A lot of people know me, and I have. We'll see how this goes with showing them off. I got my book with me. A lot of people know me from doing this painting here, which is Harley Quinn. So I've done.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen that at a couple of cons before.
She's gotten shared around, and it's based off a cosplayer in another country. I can't remember her name or where she's from though. and a lot of people have used her image for different paintings and artwork. So yeah, I'm one of the guys in the list. But yeah, I mean, I've done Harley Quinn, Catwoman, Poison Ivy, Rorschach, Ghost Rider, Arrow from the new series. I've done all the Avengers, the Boondock Saints. I mean, I have this list of this that keeps growing and growing. And then with the new mini canvases that I started early this year, I've even added to that list more and more. And even taking and meshing things together. Like I did one where it was I did a series of Batman villains.
Yeah.
And I took the Batman cowl and then put over top like the villain. And I made a series of I think there was 6 of these. And I did Scarecrow, Mr. Freeze, Penguin, Joker, and a couple others.
I really do like those though. I really did. I was like, if I bought it now, I wouldn't get it for the show, but I will get it for future shows. So I was like, yeah, but I have to get my wall done. I have to get my wall done.
Right.
And right. I have to get that done. And both of my walls have to get done first, but that way I know where to put like all the other paintings and posters and other collectible, like other memorabilia. And that's one problem I have is finding space for my memorabilia. Because it's like, all right, well, you got to go. So do you have that problem, being an artist,
Well, yeah, and it's hard with me because I have all my own work still, up and around, and I've hung a lot of it just to make sure it's safe and not getting damaged or sitting on the floor. So I have some of my stuff up, and then I'm also a big art collector myself. So and I started doing the convention stuff and actually doing this as some type of business just 2 years ago. I've only been doing it just a little over 2 years. So before that, I've always been a fan of art, so I already had an art collection.
Right.
And now, as an artist, I'll go to conventions and I'll have a certain piece, and a friend of mine or a fellow artist will have something, and we'll trade out. Because most of us are all fans of art and like to collect it ourselves, so we'll trade back and forth. Or, I've gone to a couple people and be like, all right, if this show goes well, I'm buying this piece off. They're like, okay, So we always. I mean, I've got one of these books full of other people's work already. I need to buy another one because it's, I'm already, it's already overtaken, and all my walls are overtaken too.
Yeah. So, what what art style do you prefer more? Because I saw the spray painting ones that you have done.
Right.
You did some spray painting with Ninja Turtles recently.
Yeah. I started experimenting with the spray paint, and as my favorite technique is this brush with acrylic on canvas. That's my absolute favorite. The spray paint's fun. It's hard as hell though. It's really tricky. There's not a ton of control to it, and a lot of my fans and a couple of my artist friends keep telling me that I have to get messier. And it's a little hard for me because I'm a very neat person, very clean and organized, and so they're like, "Oh, you need to get messy," and I'm like, "It drives me crazy to try to go and do that." So I'm always warring in my head. There is a messy part in me that wants to come out, but the two roar all the time. So with the spray painting, it's fun. But it's a challenge, and keeping the control and getting even if you're trying to go messy, getting exactly what you want is very complicated with spray painting. Getting what you want with canvas or brushes and acrylic is so much better. You get exactly what you want. You let things dry. You know when they're going to dry, and you can go over them. You can add the shading. So yeah, with brushes and paint are my absolute favorite.
Okay. With lady.
Yes.
You got something to say?
Yeah. So you said you've been doing this for 2 years.
Correct.
And what was the very first drawing that you did?
Ever when I started doing because I've actually been doing some kind of art ever since I was young. I actually I got my dad and his mom were able to draw very well and do art. So I've done stuff, you know, ever since I can remember. Like the earliest thing I remember doing is I drew like little characters of my family, and then I kind of drew. I started getting into drawing Looney Tunes because I had these stickers that I used as a reference and redrew the Looney Tunes, and that's how I kind of figured out I was at least decent in doing some kind of art because my mom saw it and thought I traced it. I go, no, I just looked at them and redrew them. But when I got into kind of going more towards a professional style, or you know, kind of stepping up a bit, I messed with. I kind of went with the traditional artwork, more like you know stuff of my own creating. Like the first ones I can remember were I did because I love tattoos. So I did this series where it was like black stripes for like the tattoos, and then I put a different color in the background. So I did like a devil heart with like it was a two-piece heart with horns and a devil tail, and then I've done a couple other. I did like you know a mix of different stuff like that. I did one where it's a yin yang in the center, and I had the four elements coming off of it, which I actually made into. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but I made it into my tattoo. Yeah.
Ah.
So I did that, but when I got into when I decided to go and okay, I'm going to do comic book stuff. The very first comic book painting I did was my Spider-Man, based off of the movie The Amazing Spider-Man, where he's swinging through the city. That was the very first one I did in the professional scene.
Okay. And what got you in? What made you decide that you wanted to do the comic books? Which comic was it that got you?
Well, I've always, if we're going by like an inspirational comic to me, it wasn't really a specific comic. My all-time favorite comic hero or comic person is Spider-Man because I relate to him the most. You know, he's this skinny guy that got picked on in school, and you know, he's even when he's the superhero, he's still small, slender, and people underestimate him.
Right.
So I always really got into that. But like getting into the comics and getting into the love of of everything with it was I'm a big fan of cover art. I love the comic covers. Like half the time, I read some comics here and there, and I like, you know, I read certain things here and there, but I more buy them to have the cool covers, especially when it's like the special ones at conventions or the ones that come out. You know, like when they did the pinup girls for DC covers. I snagged a bunch of those because I like the style so much. They're just very unique and very different than what you see most of the time. So yeah, covers really got me into it. But then when I moved, because I'm originally from Ohio, so when I moved down to Florida, I started going. I found out about MegaCon, which is one of the big conventions down in our area, and I started going to that. And I went 4 or 5 years as a fan, and I kept looking at these artists, and they're really good work. And I'm like, I bet you I could do something like this. You know, I got to be, you know, so I started talking to artists. Like each year I got a little bit more ballsy. I started talking to more artists and going, okay, how do you get in? Is there, you know, is there certain things you have to do? Do you have to jump through hoops? And so, yeah, once I started getting more and more information, MegaCon 2013, once I was done there, I finally decided I am throwing my hat into the ring. I'm going to start painting comic book characters, and I'm going to get into conventions.
And sorry,
You're good.
my mind goes blank on me about age. About how many cons do you do a year?
Really, I don't have a specific number. It's as many as I can. The beginning of this year has started off a little bit slow because around the beginning of fall last year till MegaCon, like a 6 to 8 month span, I had really bad luck at conventions, and just wasn't making the money that I needed to do, and I was putting a lot of money in and not getting a lot back in return. So when that was happening, I kind of just scaled back a bit, took a step back to figure out what I have to do to get a better presence at conventions and figure out what people want from me. And what I realized was people they wanted original pieces, but they wanted, they can't go, somebody can't walk in and buy $1,000. Like this one behind me is $1,000. Even my normal size is 18 by 24, and I usually like to get about 200 for those. So I came up with the idea with an inspiration from an artist friend of mine of doing my mini canvases, like I showed you earlier. And I brought those out. I did a bunch of them and brought those out in 2014, and debuted them at Shock Pop Con, and that did not go well at all because it just wasn't a great convention for me. But when I had them at MegaCon, I took almost, I wanted to say at least over 100. I may have been pushing 120 or more, and over half of them sold.
Wow, that's
So,
good.
yeah, and I keep them affordable. They're only $20, and they're small, they're originals, and they're inexpensive. So people eat them up, and with them I can play around with them, and I have a little bit more freedom because they're not too expensive to buy like a giant canvas.
Right.
So it's I can mess up on things. Even when I mess up, I still try to sell them. Like I did one of Master Chief from Halo, and I didn't like it. It was like because I don't know if you guys saw. I did hashtag 50 new for MegaCon to build up
Yeah.
my presence to going into MegaCon, and I got to the last 11, and I was burnt out. I'm like, I don't want to do anymore. I'm tired of doing these. Yeah, I was really regretting it at the end. So I tossed in this Master Chief one just to do it, and I just made it very messy, very artistic looking, just brushes everywhere. I didn't even like it. So I'm like, okay, we'll put it in the thing. Nobody's gonna buy it. That thing sold on the first day. He goes, this is amazing. I go, okay, yeah. I'm like, $20, and he bought it. No, no haggling, nothing. I'm like, and I looked at him after he paid for it. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like that thing. He goes, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. I just, it's not one of those ones that I felt. But even, with these small ones, even if I mess up, people think they're amazing. So it works for me.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people, if it's Master Chief, that they'll eat it up.
Yeah. I have a print that I worked on with a fellow artist named Brandon Speck. He's a good buddy of mine. He drew up this design of Master Chief. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Our inspiration was we were kind of going with war propaganda posters.
Uh-huh.
So we did this one here.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, and he came up with the idea. He drew out Master Chief and Cortana in the center, and he goes, okay, because he wanted to collab with something. He goes, I know if I give this to you, you'll make it epic. I'm like, wow, that's putting a lot of trust in me, buddy. But so I took it, and I had that war propaganda stuck in my head, and I love the idea so much. So I added a little bit more. I added the aliens and just tossed white streaks across it. And that one's been pretty popular too, and it's one that I really like because you've seen a lot where it's like Master Chief and whatever battle and everything, but we took
Right.
it such a different way that people really like it.
Yeah, I know. Cortana and Master Chief are really, really popular. Now, have you thought of doing any more of those, or like any Spartans, or maybe some Destiny?
I've thought about doing the Spartans. It's just I have a list of ideas of what I want to do, and it's a very long list. Um, so I kind of just when the moment hits me or the idea hits me, I go and do it. You know, when somebody's like, "Oh, you need to do this, you need to do this, this, this," yeah, I can't work that way. I'm just a person that I'll get struck with the idea, or I'll even it's an old idea that sticks in my head for so long, and I mull it over so much that finally it comes. Like even the one behind me, which is the Spider-Man one, I came up with the idea right after Batman last year, but I didn't know exactly who I wanted in it, how exactly I wanted to do it. So it took me about a year to finally go, okay, it took me a year and the Batman one selling. I finally go, okay, I'm going to knock this out now. So like a lot of people keep, I think one of the next ones I'm going to do, if I can get a good idea for it, is The Flash from the new TV series. I've had a lot of people requesting that, and I absolutely love the show, so I'm definitely down with doing something for that.
I think that would be a good seller.
Oh yeah.
Everybody loves Flash.
Well, I have the Arrow one as well, so you know I'm gonna try to make it look like they're somewhat together, even though Arrow was made I want to say early last year or maybe even before that.
Now, have you ever thought about like doing an original Flash and then putting the past with a present type?
Um, I have not. It's been done a couple of times, so with a lot of my stuff, I try not to do stuff that other people have done. If I come up with a cool concept, I probably would do something like that. I just haven't had the inspiration to do one like that. Really, I want to do one where the image in my head is either him standing still with the because I like how they do the lightning in his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking of something along those lines, or running with the lightning in his eyes, because that's always something that strikes me when I'm watching the show. That's really cool. Yeah.
That is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now, have you ever thought about like contacting a comic book company, whether it's DC or Marvel or a smaller one, trying to get its name out there and doing some artwork for them?
Not really. Oops, sorry. um, with the way I do stuff, I mean, if somebody came to me, I would probably think about doing it.
Mm.
But everything I do is paintings on canvas, so I don't know how we would do that. I'm kind of just down with doing my independent artist thing with the messing with these paintings and doing my own style. And if something comes up and somebody wants me to do something, I'm down for anything. But to go and me go to them, I probably wouldn't do that.
Now, for commissions,
Mm-hmm.
how would one contact you if they wanted something commissioned from you?
Well, there's two different ways you can do that. One of the easiest ways is to go on my website, joshbauerartist.com, which you guys, I posted it at the bottom of the page here. There's on the website, you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you can send me a message, and it comes to me through my email. So just email me and let me know what you would like, and we can start talking prices and shipping and all that stuff. Another way is you can just email me at jbauerart@aol.com, and Bauer is Bauer. Or you can even message me on Facebook as well. I have, the JB Dezigns Facebook page, so you can personally message me through there too. So there's a bunch of ways to contact me.
Do you have Twitter?
I do have Twitter. What is it? Hold on, I made all this stuff at different times, so I wasn't one of those smart guys that go and make everything the same thing. I think my Twitter is like jbart_22. But if you go to the website, you can find my Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook, everything. I'm Twitter. I'm the main thing I use is Instagram. You'll find everything on there, and then I have Instagram connected to Facebook and connected to Twitter. But I'm most active on Instagram and Facebook. Twitter, I don't really do a ton with. It's just whatever I do through Instagram.
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
how
think.
my Twitter is. It's connected to all of my pages.
Right.
So, whatever gets posted. And even if I share other pages, it sort of gets posted to Twitter like 3 different times in a row. Yeah, sorry about
Right. Yeah,
And-
with Twitter, it kind of annoys me because I do have the Bauer or JB Art 22, however it goes. So I have a ton of Justin Bieber fan pages follow me because I have JB. It drives me absolutely nuts. Every time one follows me, I put on there, I am not a Justin Bieber fan page. Go away.
Oh man,
Yeah.
you like JB, like Justin Bieber artist. Like
Yeah.
I do, I can sketch Justin Bieber. I
Yeah,
could
that's all
do it. I just don't do it though.
draw, paint, and sculpt Justin Bieber. No, I don't do anything Justin Bieber. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's gotta get annoying.
Drives me nuts every time. I even I'll type to them. I'm like, hey, I'm not a Justin Bieber page, but they still follow me. I've never seen one unfollow me. So I'm like, I guess a follow's a follow.
I mean, all right. So throughout on your pages, do you accept commissions from people?
Yeah, yeah. Like I said before, all you have to do is just contact me either through my website, through my email, or if you're a fan on my page at the JB Designs page, you can just private message me and we can start chatting. I have price points for each size, and usually if we're going with the bigger size ones, I do ask for at least half down, because I've gotten burned a couple of times when I first started. So I ask for half down, and then you pay the rest before I ship it. And then you
Okay.
just pay, you gotta pay for shipping, of course, too. So yeah, I'm definitely down for commissions. Um, it's a little hard for me for commissions because I do stuff when yeah, like I said before, when I'm up for it, or not up for it, but inspired for it. I can't just force
Right.
myself to go work on something. So I was talking to a few of my artist friends, and they were talking about like, oh, well, you give people times when you're going to have stuff done. I go, no, I don't like time constraints. And usually when I give them a time constraint, it messes with my head, and I can't get things done. So I'm like,
Right.
I'll do the best I can and try to get it at this period of time. Or like, I've had a bunch of people. I did a Daredevil piece, and it was a Daredevil painting, and then a comic book cover at the same time, and it was for like a birthday. So luckily, she gave me like 6 months to work on it. I knocked out one really quickly. I think it was the comic book cover came like real quickly, but I was having trouble with the painting. So like I got the painting done in the last like month that I had to work on it. So if I got months to work on it, we're good. But if you're just like, hey, whenever, I will work on it as fast as possible. But I don't rush myself either, because if I rush myself, you're gonna get crap.
Right. So when you're at a con, have you ever done like a free like set up your like all your art supplies right then and there and do like freehand while you're at a con? Or do you bring all your merchandise that you're willing to sell like right then and there?
Yeah, I have. The main things I sell is I bring all the canvases that I have done. I have prints, posters, mini canvases, or mini prints, and now the mini canvases. The only thing that I do on site when I'm not busy is I'll do trading cards. I have like small little blank trading cards that I can draw on, but I don't do anything painting on site at the moment. Because with me, I like I'm the seller of my stuff. I don't really have an assistant. Like my wife comes with me, but she's still getting better with the trying to sell for me. But I'm the main seller, and I really like talking to my fans. I hate being down and my head down doing stuff and not being able to talk to people.
Right.
So yeah, as of right now, I don't do I don't do any paintings on site, and really I only do just the trading cards.
What kind of trading cards?
Of course, I don't have any with me. Yeah, my room's a mess. So, they're little. I mean, like, you can can't remember what they're called, but you know, when they're the same exact size as regular, uh, you know, baseball cards or Pokemon cards. You know, it's the same size, and they're about this big, and they come blank. And you can draw, you know, whatever you want on them, and then I do pencil drawings, light pencil drawings, and then I do go over with a Copic marker.
Okay.
Really, I do those a lot because you know you'll hit some slow conventions or you'll hit slow spots in a convention. So it's a way to entertain me while I'm sitting there all day.
Right. Trust me, I know how it is being behind a booth. You're just like, this is so
Oh yeah,
slow.
yeah, yeah,
Ah. Done security for a couple of conventions. I'm just sitting here like, oh my god, do I get to go home yet?
yeah, yeah. I've sat at a few and I'm like falling asleep. I watched. I was so bored at one. I have the WWE app, so I'm sitting there with my phone in front of me and I'm watching like NXT while people just keep walking past me because it was one of those shows. I'm like, I'm not selling anything, so I'm like, I'm gonna watch my wrestling and just relax. So yeah,
Travis,
Yes.
do you want to go ahead and give out the shout outs real fast? And um, Josh Hunt, when he's done, do you want to give in shout outs to
sure.
anybody?
Oh yeah.
All right. So I'm giving you the shout outs. Legit Lady Gamers, Game Share Play, Cosplay Anime and Gaming, Intergalactic Geek Alliance, The Batcave by Geek Alliance. Um, Here's a shout out to Avengers Mansion by Intergalactic Geek Alliance, Geek Club, Lady Venom's Lair, JB's Design. That's Josh right here. Yeah, there you go. We want to give a special shout out to the Promenade Group, which is Vance's group, plus his crew that's in Oklahoma. They're the Star Trek, um, Valiant. Uh, I'm sick. They're doing the Starship Valiant thing, and they're doing the cleanup right now. I believe Vance is there this weekend, and he's helping with the cleanup for that. And they will need funds to rebuild. I believe they have a Facebook page. On their Facebook page, we'll give you the link to their Kickstarter or GoFundMe page. Their Facebook page is Star Trek, Starship Valiant. There we go. Tongue tied for that one. Also, the Kick Punch Block. Give a shout out to them. And of course, we want to give a shout out to Lady Rage and Gamer Geeks TV and the Geeky Gamers Unite page.
And Game of Geek Radio.
Oh, Gamers Radio. Can't forget about us. I mean, we're just here for your entertainment. No.
And Josh, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Twilight Link, Anime for Life, and we want to give y'all those two shout outs too. Okay. Josh.
That's a good list, man. Was there anybody left on the internet after that?
I have no idea. I'm pretty
There's
sure
one.
I could have got like a couple more in there. I'm pretty sure I could got a couple more in there.
So it's my turn?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't even prepared, so I'm gonna make these up as I go. Of course, a shout out to Gamer Geeks Radio. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. Um, I'll give a shout out to my own event. It's Ignition, uh, and you can find it at Ignition Inc. on Facebook. We are gearing up for Ignition 3. That will hopefully we're probably shooting for January on that one, and it's an event that myself and Brandon put on to help celebrate artists in the area. So definitely check out that page to find out more information. I also help run a nerd page called Nerd Society X. Me and a couple buddies of mine, and we talk everything nerd with wrestling, comics, you name it, we talk about it. I'd like to give a shout out to the conventions that I'll be hitting up in the next couple weeks. First one is Memorial Day weekend in Melbourne, Florida, which is Space Coast Nerd Fest. I will be there with a 10 by 10 booth, so I'm bringing all the originals that I can, and I'll have prints, posters, all the good stuff. Another one is the next convention after that is the first weekend in June. It's down in Miami. It'll be the first time I'm heading down there for a convention, and that one's called Hero Hype Con. If you're down in that area, it's going to be a fun time, and if you've been wanting to meet me, it'll be probably the first and only time this year I'll be in Miami, so definitely come out for that. I want to give a shout out to, I just recorded with these guys last night, two episodes. The first one came out today. They're Happy Hour with Johnny and Deuce. They're great guys down here in Florida. They've been doing their podcast hard for the last little while. And we had a new episode go up today, and we'll have another new one with me next week where we just talk about random shenanigans stuff. So thank you for those guys for hanging out with me last night. Brian, I can't remember his last name at the moment, but with NBA Walk Team Arrow. They are down here in the Orlando, Florida area. I'm probably getting a lot of this wrong because, again, making this up as I go. But I helped them at Free Comic Book Day at Emerald City Comics to raise money for their NBA walk. So definitely go and check out Team Arrow. I'll post, if you go to my Facebook page, I'll post the link to them after the show. So yeah, I think that's everybody I need to shout out at the moment.
Well, there'll be later, just in case you think of an extra couple of them.
Brent, I got one now. Yeah.
And Travis, you have any more questions?
Well, you say you're wrestling. You're into wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm into wrestling too, and I understand this is Gamer Geeks Radio, but I it's rare that I get to meet somebody that's into wrestling still.
Right.
You know, like mainstream Raw, like after Attitude Era, like you're still watching it.
It's rough. I will say.
Who you liking right now? Who you liking right now?
Who am I liking right now?
Yeah, who you liking right now?
Well, I'd say Daniel Bryan, but he just got put on the bench. But no, I'm a big Daniel Bryan fan. I'm a huge Dean Ambrose fan. I really like Ambrose. I like his attitude, his style. Crazy as hell. I'm a big fan of, I mean, a lot of these young guys that are coming up. Seth Rollins is awesome. I think he's going to be a great heel right now. And he's a little too whiny for me. I would like him more of the opportunist style. But, you know, you go through different levels of villain with that. I'm a huge fan of Cesaro, and I wish they would get him higher on the mountaintop there. But, you know, at least he's in a good tag team and being used with Tyson Kidd. Yeah. And that's a great tag team right there. I was pissed when they lost the titles already.
Well,
those are my main
I wouldn't say I'm pissed because I mean, I like Roman Reigns.
You might be the only guy. We found him.
As possibly.
No, Roman Reigns is good. He needs mic work.
Roman Reigns is, he needs his ability to get a little bit better. But Roman Reigns is the only wrestler I've seen in the past like 2 years to like bleed.
Right.
But when it comes down to like, you know, it's Roman Reigns, Randy Orton. I'm waiting for them to turn John Cena into a bad guy, and then it'll be like, yep, John Cena's in there. But I like John Cena. I like John Cena because of his old school stuff that he used to do.
I'm liking Cena more now. They've got him in that, and even with him being the good guy, they've got him in a much better role. He is he's the veteran that is bringing up young guys. I mean, I watched the episode with him and Neville, him and Sami Zayn. it's impressive stuff that he's doing, and I think that's where he needs to be because he's got the championship, which makes the United States Championship worth something, which that hasn't
Right.
been in years. Um, and he's in the middle of the card, so not everybody's seeing him at the end. He's not taking over the end spot, so that leaves spots open for younger guys. And it's a very good spot, and I'm really digging it because I was just, I'm one of those guys that it would change the dynamic of the whole show if he would go heel. I understand he
Right.
makes the kid's hero, he's the merchandise guy, but you see all these posts where the heel, you see Bray Wyatt, who's a heel, doing Make-A-Wish. You see Randy Orton,
Yeah.
you see Seth Rollins. I mean, it is possible, but I understand it to an extent. But man, everybody would just be turned on their heels if they turned him heel. But maybe one
Well,
day, who knows?
they were saying that his heel personified his thugnomics. When he was
Right.
like the doctor of thugnomics, that was when he was heel. I was like, no, he really wasn't. That was a gimmick. That was funny. That was popular at the time.
Right.
That if you went back to, would still be funny now. But when you got you have Kane, you have Big Show, you got all these other dudes, and you're like, you got all these other guys that just seem like they're the bad guys. Like, all right, maybe you need a good guy. Maybe you need that one guy that's going to sit up there and say, I never give up. But,
Right.
to each his own.
Well, and even like Roman and Dean, I mean, they could switch at any moment. There's nobody really like Cena that's that constant good guy. Like how Hogan was at a good majority of his career in
Yeah.
WWF. I mean, he was that ultimate good guy that, So you've got that, and that's one of the people that you can rely on to be the same. But I mean, I just would love to see it. Just even if he went heel and won the championship, I'd be down for that because then these young guys could come up as the big face to save the day to beat John Cena.
Especially Neville. Neville, the man that gravity forgot.
Oh,
He
man.
is spectacular. Like I have to give him props on his agility, his training, everything, his regiment.
I don't even think it's gravity forgot him. I don't think gravity ever knew he existed.
But Cesaro's tag team partner, not Cesaro, Sin Cara. Sin Cara has a tag team partner who reminds me of Spider-Man when he's in the ring, man. Like, dude he is quick. He's quick, and he's just athletic as hell. Like, he jumped on dude's shoulders and then just flew off of him like he didn't exist. Like, what in the world? I've seen like Spider-Man do that. I don't see
Right.
that.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. I mean, these young guys and the middle of the career guys are stepping stuff up. That it's like you guys got to start paying attention to these guys and getting them up in the higher cards and giving them the time to have matches. Because that's the other thing too is you got a 3-hour show, but you barely have. I mean, it's very short matches, limited matches. And he's just like, give the time for the guys to have stories and tell you can tell stories through the wrestling. And that's kind of lost in this era right now.
Yeah. Because all Attitude Era was nothing but that, and then before the Attitude Era, it was more in depth. They took stuff back behind stage and all this other stuff like that, where you really got to be like, oh man, you didn't need Twitter to find out what your favorite wrestler was doing. You didn't need Facebook. You didn't need Twitter. You just watched the show for the next hour and a half, and that's what you got.
Right.
But all right, well.
Yeah.
Well, because this question, I've seen like TNA do this, and TNA has this belt. They have the Divas, not the Divas. It's the female division tag team belt.
Women's or knockout title.
Yeah.
Knockout.
Do you feel like the WWE women's division, the Divas anyway, they need a tag team belt to show a little bit more camaraderie between the women locker room?
No. I think putting a women's tag team title into WWE would only hurt the tag team, or it would hurt the Divas more. Because even when it was in TNA, because I was watching when they debuted that, and it was kind of hot for the first little bit, and then TNA forgot about it, and it just didn't mean anything. The matches were half-assed, and it just with the Divas, just make the matches count. Give them the time to tell. It's the same exact thing with the guys. Give them the time to tell their stories. Let's make some actual stories that matter for them, and let them put on a show. I mean, if you watch NXT, NXT Divas are what WWE Raw show should be. I mean, the NXT girls, they have their time, they have good chemistry. Some of them are still learning. You can catch some of the bad moves and but that's the learning process. But if they put that much focus and time into a Raw show, which they have 3 hours to do that in, it would bring the Divas up so much. And,
sure,
maybe it would be cool, but they have to do it right, which usually isn't the case with any women's division in WWE or TNA.
Okay, oh, I'm gonna get your information. I'm gonna talk to you more about that one. But you said Spider-Man growing up was your favorite. Was Spider-Man growing up your favorite hero?
Right. Yeah.
Like all right. So who was your favorite villain?
Favorite villain. That one's always hard. And there's a couple. I'd have to say the Joker, just because I have two. I have top two. It's Joker and Venom. But Joker is the if I have to pick one, Joker is the ultimate favorite. Just because you never know what he's gonna do. He's straight up crazy. Every version of him has been really cool, and he just takes it to a whole new level than other people have. So yeah, I'd have to say the Joker is my favorite villain.
Have you done a painting for the Joker yet?
I have not. I want to, but again, there's so many awesome versions of him. I can't. I have not gotten it in my head to do one yet. Because people are like, "Oh, well, do the Heath Ledger one," and then then other people are like, "Heath Ledger's overdone. It's it's too much. It's this. It's that." So one of these days I will do a Joker one, and it's gonna be awesome. I'm just still, it's just always in the back of my mind, tweaking and what I'm gonna do. So it's on the to-do list.
What does it have to be like from a certain comic book or series show? Can it not be like your own personal version of what you think it is? Or what you would like to see him to be? I mean, it doesn't have to follow suit, right?
Right, yeah, I can make up my own. With some of that, though, I mean, because some people do their own versions and do it all together, and it goes really well. You just have to watch sometimes because people don't like your own version. They want...
Right.
Yeah, I mean, with anything. I mean, even sometimes, like I did the Spider-Man one, which is the Amazing Spider-Man, and people were like, "Oh, well, I want Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man." So some people are really picky. I think that is when it comes to the Joker, that is something that I'll probably have to do is draw up my own style of him and do my own version of him, and that's part of the tweaking in my head is where do I want to go with it? Do I want to go full nut crazy, blood everywhere, or like the more of the gangster style that, there's so many routes you could take with him. It's, eventually I'll come up with something. But yeah, you can always do your own versions and stuff. And I have a lot of people's own version of their things, and they've done really well. But then I've seen ones that are like, I'm not feeling it.
I know, like with Holly's Joker, he likes to. He's a cosplayer in California, and he's also an
Oh,
artist.
I know who he is. Yeah, I've been following him and his lady for a long time.
He likes to stick to the original
Right.
with the Joker, and it's like everybody has their own little taste of him.
Oh yeah. Well, and I've even seen recently people are doing like a punk version of him, like with
Yeah.
a little bit crazier makeup, you know, street clothes, and those have been really cool, and those have been really like getting stuck on my head. Um, and then like with because Harley's my all-time favorite female comic book character, so I would love to do something with. I have to do a Joker by himself, but then a Joker and Harley together. So, you know, with the routes that I do, I'll probably end up doing something more of a traditional style to have one traditional Joker and then go maybe do my own style too with like a punk version of with him and Harley together. Because that's always fun to see. I've seen a lot of different cosplays and art of the punk version.
I don't think like a rock band version has ever been done of him. Like
I've
him
seen
with a bucket
cosplays of it.
Huh?
Yeah.
I've seen cosplays of them.
No, I haven't seen that of him.
Like a rocker,
Yeah,
a punk rock Joker.
like heavy metal rock.
And maybe not heavy metal, but I've seen like the punk rock and and I've seen
the punk rock.
right, but yeah, not maybe
I've seen the steampunk.
Yeah,
I really do like the steampunk style of Joker and Harley Quinn though.
yeah, I
Well,
like the steampunk version of all. I mean, I've seen so many people do steampunk versions of stuff, and I just saw an Iron Man cosplay in the steampunk version.
Yeah.
And it was badass. So yeah, steampunk's really fun. I've really gotten into it in the last couple of years.
Steampunk is nice. Like with the guns or the swords that they do with the steampunk.
Oh yeah.
I would love to like get some of them and just hang them all.
Oh yeah.
Sadly, when you
A
lose
guy just made a
like. Go ahead,
a guy
Travis.
just made a steampunk Gatling gun that actually works. Like 500 shots went through it, and I was like, okay, can I get one? No?
That's awesome.
Okay, bye. Like, you make something that's like appeals to the masses, and you just like, no, this is mine. It's not. Why would you put it online? I didn't need to know that. Because now I'm sitting over here like, I can't get it though. I can't build that. I'm pretty sure I'll get arrested if I try to do that.
Now,
steampunk Gatling gun.
You're a gamer, correct?
I used to be, but with the art career now, I don't play as much as I used to. I play, here and there when I can, but it's I've definitely dropped off since I started doing the art career a lot more.
What was your console of choice when you did?
I was more of an Xbox guy. I have both because there was a couple of games on the PS3 that I wanted, but mainly I use my Xbox. Even now, I still use my Xbox 360 stuff.
For the win. I'm sorry. I'm gonna. Everybody knows I'm an Xbox fanboy, but
right.
I have my reasons to be.
Yeah, I want to. I plan on eventually trading in everything because I want to get the Xbox One because I get games just so I jump on once in a while, but I want the new Mortal Kombat and then the new Batman that's coming out. So I play those when I can.
Arkham Knight.
Yeah, it looks really good.
God, I can't wait.
The new X1 takes some while to get used to because they took your silver button away. I mean, like, it's still there, but it doesn't work like it used to.
Right.
You and the silver button. They just gave you voice messaging back. Leave me alone.
What? I want my silver button back because, you know, like I want to hit it and like everything's right there. My settings are here. My downloads are there. I don't want to
I
have to
mean,
like search a mile
you can
long.
say it though. You could. That's the fun thing about the Xbox One. You can navigate that whole thing by voice and be lazy with it.
My lazy is my silver button. So anyhow, are you going to do any cons in June?
June. Yeah, I'll have the first weekend in June is the Miami one, Hero High Con. And then the rest of June's I think is pretty dead because I'm actually doing. I have to go to my wife's sister is getting married the weekend after our Miami trip, so I'll be heading over into Virginia to go do the wedding stuff there.
Oh,
So
you can step by here on your way.
Congratulations.
yeah.
Wait, you said Virginia. Hold on, he's closer to me.
You gotta go through North Carolina. You are
Right.
driving, right?
Yeah. Sadly, I'm
You
driving.
gotta stop by here first.
I mean, I could pick up
We
some
are
art while he's up in Virginia, though.
What part of
Yeah.
Virginia?
I have no idea. I'm just going where my wife points me to. Yeah. I cannot remember where she's at.
We won't tell your wife that you don't know where her sister lives. We'll keep that a secret.
No, we're gonna say congratulations because a lot of people are getting married, and I've been invited to like 6 weddings in June over there in Virginia, and I'm just like, nah, I'm not going.
Yeah, luckily this has been the only one that I've been invited to in a long time. So, but yeah, we got to head out like on a Thursday and drive all one day, and then hang out there for a couple days and drive back on Sunday. So it'll be fun though. It's nice to see her family and get out of the town for a little while. But yeah, after the rest of June's kind of dead, and then I got some stuff in July, and then things will pick up in the fall. I'm hitting. Let me bring up my cheat sheet. I'll have. Let's see. I'm doing Oblivion Tap Room. There's a special they're doing special different days. Like they're doing Batman birthday thing one time. So I'm going over there for they're doing Geekness Day, and they're having a bunch of artists and creators come out to the restaurant for that day. That'll be in July 11th. And then I'm trying out a new convention called Infinity Con, July 18th. That's up north about 2 hours. And then
Is that in Tampa?
What's that?
Is that in Tampa, Florida?
No, Tampa's south to me because I'm in Orlando.
Okay.
I'm dead center. So it's
Okay.
I can't remember where that one is, but yeah, it's about 2 hours, a little over 2 hours from where I am. And then I'm doing in September. I'm doing Lake Collecticon in Mount Dora, and then the Halloween weekend I'm heading out to Daytona Beach area for a new convention. I believe it's called 2050 or something of that nature. It's a new convention that contacted me and wanted me to come out and be a part of their show, so I'm going to try that out. And then there's Claremont Comic Con, and then I'm always adding new ones. Like I'm going to try to go to one in December in Georgia if I'm able to. Hopefully I can get down to PalmCon in September. And then for the first time next year, I actually have a book. I'm heading to Kentucky in March for Lexington Con. I've got my booth and my hotel, so for the very first time, I'm going way out of state and going to a convention. So hopefully, listeners that are in the area, please come out and say hi. I would like the support and meet you guys. So.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, it's an experiment. We're gonna see how it goes because I'm trying to get this more and more into a legit type business and hit different areas. So it's my first experiment to go out of state and see if anybody likes my stuff outside of Florida.
I'm quite sure
Well,
you'll be a big hit there.
I'm hoping so.
when you
I
draw,
know. Go ahead.
when you do your first anime painting, let me know because I know some otakus out there that they would kill me if I didn't ask you if he's gonna start doing anime style, and I don't want them to kill me right now. So let me know when you start doing that.
Yeah, I never watched a ton of anime when I was, I never got into it. I like the art a little bit, and it just wasn't something that, the only thing anime-wise that I ever watched was Dragon Ball Z. I was a big fan of
Right.
Dragon Ball Z. But some of these other ones, because I have a lot of people that come up and they take cards from me, and they're like, "Oh, do you do this or this?" I'm like, "I've never even heard of that. I'm sorry." But some who really, yeah, they just come up with some names. I'm like, ah. But my wife was into some of the anime, so she goes, "Oh, it's from this or it's this," so she helps me out. Um, but with like, anybody can commission anything. If you give me good reference photos or give me an idea of who this is, as long as you want to pay for the commission, I will do what you want, to a certain extent. Well, I'm always happy to
Right.
chat with new people and see what they want to do.
I'm
If
just I'm
I
just I can feel the daggers like from my anime fans right now. Just like
if I can find the picture that I want, can I show you and tell me hopefully a price?
yeah. If you just email it to me and we can chat about it. It just
Oh,
depends on your
I wouldn't be
size
able to
and
mail it.
everything.
It's this big.
We
Yeah, I was gonna go and hunt it
would
down
have to do
and
some
show it
we
to
should
you.
do a giveaway. We should do a giveaway.
I've done a few giveaways. I haven't done one in a while. I did a giveaway once where I used to paint on wine bottles, and I did a giveaway where I painted. The winner chose to do a Deadpool on a wine bottle, so that was cool. I've given away some prints, um, some posters, and things like that. I haven't done one in a while, so I'll have to. I think I'm up to like uh, 1,500 fans, so I'll have to do something soon. Um, Maybe give away like one of the MegaCon exclusive prints or something
Yeah.
like that. Um,
Uh, we should. I was thinking we should commission JV to do a. I don't know. I don't know yet.
well, I'm always open. You guys mind if I talk
I don't know what
what?
type of piece that it should be, so we can give it away to our
Okay,
fans.
gotcha. Yeah, we can definitely work something out. You guys are always welcome to email me and everything. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, we can figure something out. You guys mind if I plug a little bit more of the ignition events that I do?
Go right
Um,
ahead. Go right ahead.
So what Ignition is it's a brainchild between myself and my friend Brandon Speck, who helped me with the Halo piece. And he originally came up with the beginning of the idea. And what it was yeah, we love all conventions that we do, and we appreciate what they do for us and everything. But when you're an artist in some of these conventions, you kind of get ignored by some people. They don't always go through
Yeah.
artist They kind of put us over in our corner, and you know, I bet you half the people don't come through. And then when they do, they're kind of walking around like zombies. So the brainchild that we had was we wanted to take over a local comic shop and put on a small type of convention that was focused on artists. So we called it Ignition Artist Alley Evolve. And our first one, it was when we originally started, it was just going to be a few artists to come together, show work, do some sales, have a couple other things. But it ended up turning into this monster. We had 30 tables taken up in this comic shop. and we had 30 different artists. We had a group called Easy Productions come out, but my buddy Ryan. They had cosplayers with them. They took photos. We had video game tournaments. So we've done two already. In the people that are watching that are in the Florida area, we've had them at Acme Superstore. Well, we've outgrown Acme. We're gonna go bigger for the next one. We originally said it was gonna be in the fall of this year, but we pushed it to January of next year because we want to make sure we get a good space and go big, but still have a good quality. We're gonna try to double the amount of artists and vendors, have bigger video game tournaments. More, we have a local bar called the Bar, and they bring out video game cabinets for us so people can play for free. You know, like the old like Ninja Turtles cabinets and stuff like that.
Oh
And
man.
then we have cosplayers come out. We have ages with a big green screen, and they will take pictures of cosplayers. We let our fans dress up, so they can go in front of the green screen, get a picture done, and when they go and Avius goes and makes it look like you're in this like, epic battle and everything. They've had like Batman versus Boba Fett fighting in like the Star Wars area. They do amazing work. So we
Oh,
offer
that's
all
sick.
kinds of stuff like that. Yeah, it's a big party, and you know, it celebrates art. It celebrates the artist, and it gets them the attention they deserve. So
When
if
is this?
what's that?
When is this?
The Ignition 3, which we're calling Ignition Trace, yeah, a little humor there. It's we're hoping to have it at the end of January, and
Okay.
then we're gonna start doing smaller ones with just like we'll pick a few small select artists and a couple small things, and we're gonna call those Ignition Sparks, and those will be at local bars, restaurants, things like that, where we can kind of take over a little bit of the section and put on a nice little show and show off single artists a little bit more specifically, and then still have the video game tournaments and things of that nature. But yeah, if anybody's interested in following that or keeping up to date for the upcoming shows, feel free to follow my Facebook page, David Designs, or follow our Ignition page, which is facebook.com/Ignition Inc. And Inc is INK.
I want to go to that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's definitely we're going for another one-day one, but we eventually want to grow into a Saturday and a Sunday one. I don't know if we'll be able to pull it off for Ignition Trace, but hopefully for Ignition 4 we'll be able to do that. It keeps turning into a bigger and bigger monster, so who knows what will happen even with Trace. Even with the small one or the first one that we did, Brandon's like, oh, it's going to be real small. We're going to have a few artists. And I'm a person, I don't do small things. I mean, you see the paintings behind me. I don't like
Right.
small. So I started talking to all these artists, and people came out of the woodwork to be a part of this, and it just grew into this beast. And the first one was a beast. I mean, we outgrew Acme just in the first one. But, you know, the first one went so well, we're like, okay, well, we'll do it at Acme again just to make sure we can pull this off again. And
Right.
the second one was even packed too. And our artists are like, we need some more space. We're sitting on top of each other. I'm like, okay, we'll try for trade. So yeah, it's definitely turning into its own thing. We never expected it to be what it is and what it's become. But we call them our artists is the Ignition family, and it's a community. And I'm a big supporter of making these artists and vendors, cosplayers into this community. And what's cool is when I put on these events, Brandon and I put on these events, we get to watch what happens afterwards. And some people don't realize that, like the artists start chatting, or the cosplayers and this or that. So like Agia with their crew, they got together with the cosplayers that came to us and made some really awesome photos. And I mean, just some great stuff. So I got to see that come about. And then some artists teamed up that I've never met before and created some amazing artwork. I got to meet Bethany from Outhouse Games, and they do a game on the phone called Stacker. So if you want some fun cell phone game, definitely check out Stacker. But she also does music. She creates music for companies and stuff like that. So me and her hooked up to make. Found me different songs and made me songs for the videos that I put on YouTube of me painting. So if you go on to my YouTube channel, just type in JB Designs. All the music that you hear on every video is from Bethany, and she made me like this cool. I did an Irish painting with like my tattoo with an Irish cross and a devil tail and clover and everything. She made me an Irish rock song, and it's really awesome. It's it's got that hard Irish, and it even starts with like bagpipes in the beginning. So if it wasn't for Ignition, none of these connections would have been made. So it's very cool to watch stuff get built up and make this community even better, and that's what we always strive for.
Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely. Lady?
So, as far as cosplayers go, have you had any of them come to you for commission for you to do them?
I have not gone, or they haven't come to me, but I've gone to them. My first cosplayer that I worked with was a lady down here named Callie Cosplay, and I met her at a comic book shop opening in the area, and I followed her for a little while, and I'm a very when I first started, and even now, I'm still a little bit nervous to talk to people. So I finally got the guts when I met her at the comic thing. I'm like, I'm looking for more references and people to work with. So, I'm like, would you want to work with me on doing a painting of one of your characters, of one of like the characters that you've done? She goes, oh, that would be awesome. She was super supportive, and so we did Poison Ivy of her. Because when I did the Harley, I wanted to do Poison Ivy and Catwoman. So she was the first girl. Yeah. So she was the first cosplay girl that I went with, and we did Poison Ivy together. And then she was also the model for my Wonder Woman painting. And then I've worked with other cosplayers. There's Sunny Stark that actually her and her I believe boyfriend run Hero Hype Con, which is the convention in Miami that I'll be in June. I've done a bunch of, I did a Lady Deadpool painting of her, and then I did a couple of comic covers as her as Harley Quinn, because she's like one of my favorite Harley Quinn cosplayers. So I've worked with her a couple of times, and I have one coming up of Amy Nicole Cosplay, who helps us with Ignition. I'm either going to be painting her as Elektra or Lady Punisher, or both. I haven't. We're going to be chatting while we're down in Miami because she's one of the special guests. So we're going to be chatting about what we do with her because she does a really awesome Elektra.
And who is she again?
That is Amy Nicole Cosplay. Yeah, just type that up in Facebook and you should be able to find her. I don't know what's her profile picture at the moment. I want to say it's Lady Deadpool, but she, you see an awesome Elektra and a Lady, or not Lady Deadpool, Lady Punisher. That's her.
Send me their links. I'd love to go and hit a like on them.
Definitely.
Now, you said your wife goes to the cons. Is she like one of your biggest supporters, do you think, or?
What she wants to be. No, she is. Her and I have this. I have really everybody in my life is hugely supportive of what I do. My wife and my mother are the two biggest supporters I could ask for. My wife goes with me to every convention that she can, and she helps me sell. She, because it's nice to have an extra person at the table that has your back. Especially if I'm in a deep conversation with somebody, because I like to have the full conversation and talk to people. I don't just sell them stuff and tell them to get out.
Right.
so she's helping me. She helps me talk to other people. She's even doing her own, she sells stuff for me. She goes, okay, you need to sign this. I'm like, well, who the hell bought this? She goes, oh, this guy here, I took care of. I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, both of them, both are like she's super supportive of coming with me to the conventions and being that support there, keeping me awake on the long drives. Yeah, we've driven 4 or 5 hours to get to a convention. So she keeps, and now she bought me a video camera this past Christmas, so I could do, and it was a complete surprise because I kept talking about buying a video camera so I could do my time lapse videos of my painting on YouTube. And the last present I opened on Christmas was my video camera, and I couldn't believe it because she never, never said a thing, never hinted at it. So now that we have that, we take the video camera with us to shows, and she's my video camera lady. She's learning to record and do stuff. So she's awesome at the convention. And then my mom is a huge supporter as well because she's just, and especially like the 6 to 8 months that were dead for me and I wasn't doing well, I was almost on the verge of just being done with everything and not doing this anymore. And both of them just go, no, you have to do it. Keep doing it. You enjoy it. It'll pick it up. And they kept putting, and this is the best way I can put it. They kept putting their foot in my ass,
Yeah.
to keep me going. And my mom is not an artist. She even said she couldn't draw a six-figure straight with a ruler. But I can go to her, and if I'm working on a painting and I'm just stuck or not feeling it, I can go look at her and go, okay, what do you think? And she's always like, she's like, I'm not an artist, but you can do this or this. She's a person I can throw ideas off of. And, my mom's even so cool that we're going down to Miami and I want to take everything with me. So she's helping me out she's going to drive down with us and come to the convention with me so we have a bigger vehicle. And, it's that kind of support that keeps me going. And those two are some of the biggest. And then I have my friend Sammy at my day job. He helps me with getting the photos done with the paintings and helping me create the prints and get all that things together. And my boss is super supportive because he helps me with the printing. Because I work at a sign company, so he helps me get.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, your boss is supportive of this? Like.
Oh yeah. He's super supportive. He knows I take vacation days to go do the conventions. He makes sure he keeps track of how many vacation days I use, so I don't. But yeah, I mean, everybody in my family is very supportive of it. My dad, who is still up in Ohio, I call him and he wants, he tells me, I'll be like, oh, I'm going to the convention this weekend. He goes, well, call me when you're back so I know, tell me how it goes. My brothers, I have two stepbrothers, and they are, the funny thing with my brothers, it came to Christmas time this past year, and I didn't know what to get them. The one is, they're going to be mad because I'm going to mess up their ages. One is 18, and the other one, he just started driving, so he's like 15, 16. They're so going to yell at me later, but I text them, I'm like, because I'm not with them all the time because I'm in Florida. So I'm like, what do you guys want for Christmas? I don't know what to get you. They go, we want prints. I'm like, whose prints? They're like, yours. We want some of your art prints so we can put them on our wall. I'm like, you want just some of my art? They go, yeah. I'm like, okay, which ones do you want? So they both picked two, and I sent them up to them. And they were super ecstatic. So, yeah, everyone in my family is very supportive of what I do. But, yeah, my wife and my mother are the ones that put up with me the most when I'm, going crazy and stressing.
Would you say that your wife is, in her own way, a geek as well, or?
She's gotten more geeky since she's gotten with me. We have been together. It's a disease, and I gave it to her. She was into her things because we got together right after high school. We've known each other. I think we're pushing on over 11 years or so of knowing each other. And we've been together as a couple for, it'll be, I believe, 9 years this June. And we got married this past October. So when we first got together, she was into some stuff and she knew this and knew that, and but not to the extent that I was. So with being with me, I rubbed off on her, and she now collects comics. She has her own series that she reads. She watches all the cartoons with me, the cartoon movies and stuff like that. But she was a geek in her own way when it came to, like, she was a big fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel, Charm, and all those. But I got her more into the comic aspect of the geek. So yeah, like when we're at a convention, when I'm good and I don't need her, she'll leave me for like an hour or so and come back with a bunch of stuff.
It's like, where'd you get all this stuff from?
And what's great is I'm like, well, is there anything for me? She goes, no. I'm like, oh, come on. Yeah, but
I know that feeling.
Yeah, she's dabbling into cosplaying. She really likes to cosplay, so she'll dress up a little bit here and there. And yeah, she definitely stepping into her own and getting into stuff. Like I got her into watching Arrow and Flash. So she's like, "Is a new episode on? We gotta watch it. We gotta watch it." So I get her hooked on different things. So yeah, she's definitely a geek.
Speaking of Arrow and Flash, how did you like the ending of Arrow the ending of Arrow, but the season finale of Flash?
Well, Flash has one more, right?
Yes, Flash. Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
The ending
Flash
of Arrow and
with Flash on the last episode, I loved the whole series. I did not think I was gonna like Flash as much as I do, because you never know, and especially with going more of the superhero type. Because with Arrow, it was realistic, because this guy could actually go do it, so it kept it in the real world, which I liked, with the way they were going with it. And then they're like, oh, well, we're gonna bring Flash, and I'm like, ah. And then I kept watching more and more episodes, and I absolutely love it. I was a little disappointed because they built up that fight with the Reverse Flash against the three, and it wasn't that long. And I'm like, I wanted a little bit more with the three of them.
It was about as long as Flash was in Arrow's episode.
Yeah. So I'm hoping, I'm sure the finale of Flash is going to be amazing. I don't see it ending, any other way.
I can only hope.
Arrow was very interesting, and hopefully everybody's watched it since, now that we're talking about it. I really liked it. I liked it a lot, because it opens up this whole new door. I read a couple of things, because, I run a nerd page, so I try to share as much as I can.
Right.
And I read that really the first 3 seasons of Arrow is Oliver Queen figuring out who he was. He was the punk Oliver before the island, then he was whatever he was after the island, and then, he was growing, and now he's finally at this new person. And everybody's losing their mind today. I don't know if you guys saw it, but with him saying that he's no longer Arrow. He will never wear the Arrow costume. They're like, what? Why? He's not going to be Arrow. Arrow was another character.
Right.
When he come back into the new season, he hopefully will be Green Arrow. Yeah.
Thank you. Finally, somebody.
So read between the freaking lines, people. Calm down. It's okay. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, he's going to be Green Arrow. And, you've got Speedy now. You've got Black Canary. So it's going to be... I really like the ending. I liked how you finally got to see him peaceful. He's at that resting place and peaceful after the 3 seasons of just utter turmoil. So I really liked it. I'm pissed that Arsenal is gone for the time being. I really liked Arsenal, but it stepped it up for the sister to become Speedy, so that was cool. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to. I'm already ready for next season, and I'm looking
Right.
forward to the what's that spin-off show? What are they calling it? Legends of Tomorrow.
DC Legends of Tomorrow, yes. And
You
oh
don't
my
look
God,
about it.
dude! Like, all right. When I saw it, I'm sitting here. First of all, they're incorporating one of my favorite villains. This is Vandal
Oh yeah,
Savage is my favorite DC villain of
yeah,
all time. Like he's up there. He's like
right.
I don't feel like anybody's touching Vandal Savage, but you have the Flash, you have Green Arrow, you have you have Captain Cold and Heatwave. I'm just like, really? Why do you have I understand like Captain Cold is he's an actor. He was on Prison Break. He's got that skill, and his acting brings Captain Cold to a more badass lifestyle than what you normally think of Captain Cold as. But
Right.
Heatwave, and then you have White Canary, but you don't have Black Canary. You got White Canary, and you
But at
have
least they brought her back. I mean, she was awesome, and it was bummed that they killed her off right at the beginning
oh
of
yeah,
season 3. So that was very cool. And then you got the one half of Firestorm.
the one half. You couldn't get both of them in there for some
Well, you
reason.
see them come in the later in the trailer, so somehow they're
Oh
pulling it
yeah.
off.
I mean, somehow they have to pull it off, but
Yeah,
then you also have the Time Lord. I
right.
just hope that CW does not get this too convoluted, where
As
you're
far
going,
as I understand it, though, it's only a miniseries. It's not a
yeah,
new, as far as I know of, it's not a new show. It's a miniseries event that's going to be,
right,
so many episodes. So I mean, they've succeeded with Arrow and they succeeded with Flash, and you've
right.
got these side characters. I mean, Arrow and Flash, that's their shows. You got all these side characters that people really want to see that you're not going to get enough from the two shows. I mean, let's have some fun and toss them all together and see what the hell happens. I mean, because I love Captain Cold. I love that
I like
character.
Captain Cold too.
I
I
wish they had
honestly
given
him,
him more. So now you're going to get that more of him. You're going to get White Canary now.
yeah. But my thing is still the whole idea of DC trying to do their movie. Like you have their TV show, which is going to be like great. It's gonna be syndicated. It's gonna be great. Netflix is about to pick up theirs. Like DC has their line of like, all right, this is about to be what it is. But
Right.
now you're trying to go onto the silver screen. If you use Vandal Savage for the TV show, you can't use him for you can't use him for the
Well,
movie. You
you
can't use the same actor.
right, right. Well, and
They
how
haven't
I
done that
always
yet.
how I always view it, and I've always told people because like people lose their shit on all kinds of different things,
Yeah,
different stories. I mean, I've heard so many complaints that Arrow steals everything from Batman, which yeah, okay, whatever. The
he's a
way
guy with a bow. Like,
the way I view it in my head is it's different universes.
yeah,
So there is DC has their TV universe. So you're gonna have TV Green Arrow, TV Flash, and then they're gonna go do their movies with with the same guys or with the same characters. So it's just two different universes, even out of the comic book, because people are like, oh well, this should have been this and this. It's never going to be the same because that's already done in the comics. They just take
right.
they take their own liberties, they take their own stuff. So it's just a different universe and a different story that they're telling. I mean, stories are told, retold in different various ways, and that's just how I think this can be very cool and and if they do it right, you can have things go on because apparently they're jumping through time, so they
Yeah,
could go and screw something up and toss that into one of the main shows. Things can get tweaked around. So if they're smart and they have been smart, the TV universe is the universe. You
right.
see, it's not always the main characters. Like it's not always Green Arrow and Flash jumping shows. You get the side characters jumping shows. I mean,
Yeah,
you even saw I think it was one episode of The Flash where Cisco runs into
Black
Laurel.
Canary.
Yeah, runs into Black Canary and ends up making the next thing with to have her screeching powers. You
Right.
know, So that's that fun little stuff that they make it so you know it's actually a universe, not like. And I like Agents of Shield. I really do. It's a fun show, but they're in their own
Yeah,
universe.
God.
Supposedly they deal with, but it's not enough like how DC's doing.
Nah, did you see the Age of Ultron movie?
I have.
Okay. Agents of Shield. They took the week before the week
Yeah.
before Ultron came out. So many shots were like, I was like, are you serious? Why? Now I have to go see this movie because after I saw Age of Ultron the following week, Shield just exploded like with non. They're not mutants. They're not mutants anymore. They're what is it?
Inhuman.
Inhumans. They're
Right.
metahumans now. I'm like, okay,
Well,
all right.
it was fun, and I love that the episode right before um, Age of Ultron came out. It was a total lead up. So when you went to watch
Oh
uh,
yeah,
Age of Ultron, if you watched the TV show, you knew what was going on. Now the
right.
only other thing that irritated me is like they build up to the movie, and then it really doesn't. The only time that it's like super affected, in my opinion, the show, one of the movies, was when Captain America: Winter Soldier, when Shield went down.
Right. Yeah.
That
When
affected
shielded,
down
that affected
the show.
everything.
Um, but to me, like Age of Ultron was like a little blip, and then
Yeah.
they talked about it here and there in that one episode, and then it wasn't as big of a deal.
Right.
And now they're focused on the Inhumans, which is good, but it just if they want this big universe that they keep talking and they keep showing here and there, at least make it so the Netflix series and the TV show on the regular network mix a bit. Because then I get that feel. I understand the movies aren't going to be that great, or the movies aren't going to transition to the shows as much. I understand that, but at least give me the Netflix series and let me see Daredevil or something on Agents of Shield.
Daredevil, the actor for Daredevil for the Netflix show, has already said that he wants to be in the Avengers universe. He wants to be in that universe.
Well, and all those guys are supposedly contracted for movies, so
Yeah.
it could happen.
And I think the movie they're talking about throwing him in there is probably Civil War with the new Avengers.
I hope it's not Civil War. I hope because I think you need to build up the other shows because Daredevil was great. Daredevil was fucking amazing.
It's either
everything.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, but with you still have 3 other shows to make the Defenders. So I think and the other thing with Civil War, I mean, there's a ton of characters already, and I'm not one of the guys that are complaining that there's too many characters, but there's a lot. So if you go and toss Daredevil in there, he might get lost in that shuffle because there's so many characters already. What is he gonna do? Like be on the sidewalk and just go, "Hey, how's it going?" and then keep going? That would be kind of fun.
I mean, yeah, you should. I mean, I don't know because Civil War is already passed, and them trying to bring in this Spider-Man movie, and they pushed back Black Panther for the Spider-Man movie.
Well, and then they're trying to get a kid.
Yeah, and Spider-Man is not going to be a adult anymore about this, and that kind of irritates me. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not mad. I'm not.
What I was thinking.
I'm not bad. I'm not mad about all right. It's not Tobey Maguire. It's not but you could have kept the guy from the original from Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
All right, you could have kept all of that and just gave him the third movie under the Marvel name.
Yeah.
I would have been good with that. I would have been so good with that because now you're sitting up here talking about going back to high school Peter Parker, and high school Peter Parker is going to run into the Avengers. And so the Defenders, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, White Tiger, like his team is like gonna be gone already.
Right.
It's like That doesn't bode confidence there.
I'm one that I'm just waiting to see how it goes. Did you see
Yeah.
that they had photos out of what is it, Crossbones or the
Oh
bad
yeah.
guy? He looks really
From
good.
he does. He does.
Yeah.
I'm not mad that they decided to throw Crossbones in there because Crossbones is Cap's more lethal. It's kind of undertone between like the Red Skull, him, and
Right.
what's the dude with the mask? Guy with the mask. What's his name? The guy that works with Red Skull, but got
Uh,
betrayed. Dude, Purple Mask.
okay.
Ah,
Oh, Prince something, isn't it? Or
man, I have to look
he's
that
in
up.
the movie, isn't he?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, he's like a prince or something. I can't remember. But
can't
yeah,
remember his name,
I know who
but
you're talking about.
him in that movie as well bodes confidence for Civil War, even though Civil War is not going to be what everybody thought Civil War was going to be.
Right.
Everybody thought Civil War was going to be Marvel's Civil War, Captain America versus Iron Man, like this big old. Nah, it's not going to be that. It's not going to be that
But
because
you
I was
can
like,
still get
they're
it.
about to kill a lot of people off.
Yeah, and they've really proved themselves with, I mean, because uh, um, the second Captain America was really good. I mean, and it changed. So I think Captain America is the Captain America movies are ones that are more universe changing than even Avengers sometimes. Because
Oh
even
yeah,
Avengers 2, you got the new team and the other Avengers, went off on their own or whatever. Uh, but like when Captain America 2 happened, I mean, Shield went down, everything broke loose. I mean, it just
yep.
shifted the game totally up. So I think with
Things
Civil
got
War,
real.
you're still going to get some major changes in the universe.
All right, lady.
Yes. Um, you want to go ahead and tell everybody again where they can find you one more time because it's about time to wrap it up on.
No problem. The easiest way to find me is on my website, which is joshbauerartist.com, and Bauer is spelled Bauer. You're able to find my Facebook, which is JB Designs. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I have a YouTube channel, which you can see me paint and time-lapse videos. I have probably pushing 15 videos on there now. And you're also able to find my my store envy shop where you can purchase prints, posters, all that good stuff. So yeah, just go to my artist page or my website, joshbauerartist.com, and it's the easiest way to find everything for me.
Okay, and do you want to give a shout out again or no?
No, I'm good. Just check out my page. Check out my the Ignition Inc. page if you're interested if you're an artist or an art fan of art to be a part of our shows and keep up to date for the next one. Make sure if you're in the Melbourne area next weekend, come out to Space Coast Nerd Fest, and in Miami the first weekend of June, come out to Hero Hype Con and come out and say hi. And let me know if you found me on this show. Let me know. Tell me, or tell me that you found me from you guys, and that would be great. And I also want to say thank you so much for having me on again. I really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun.
It's a pleasure to have you on.
It really is, man. So my shoutouts that we have to do. Legit Lady Gamers. Game Share Play, Cosplay, Anime, and Gaming. Intergalactic Geek Alliance. The Batcave by Intergalactic Geek Alliance. Avengers Mansion by Intergalactic Geek Alliance. Geek Club. Lady Venom's Lair. JB Designs. Fantasy Group Promenade. Also, another special shout out for Starship, the Starship Starship Valiant, because the It's Starship Studios. I know what it is. I know what it is. It's
You
just
can do it. You can do it.
yeah. We also want to give a special shout out to Kick Punch Block, Anime for Life, Twilight Link, Geeky Gamers Unite, and of course, Lady Rage, Gamer Geeks TV, and Gamer Geeks Radio Show. Just us, and we love y'all.
Sweetheart, are you trying to say my page or, just me?
Both.
Because it's Lady Rage / Mary Cosgrove.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
I love you for trying.
I didn't know which. Hey, you can get a shout out too.
Hey.
And there's one more page, and sorry, my asthma's kicking in. But it's oh my god, Xbox 360. No. 360 Xbox. You know what? I'm going to skip it. Because her page is like the tongue of them all.
I can give a special shout out to Xbox One Fire Team, Destiny Fire Team. I've been using y'all like crazy. I'm by the way, I'm caddy as Jackpot, so yeah, I'm that guy that just posts and goes in games while nobody hits it up. I'm just like, oh my bad, I didn't know it's in a firefight. My bad, I'm sorry, that's me. Man, it's been good having you on the show, man. And I definitely got to talk to you about, my walls here.
Yeah, I'll have to build up some vacation time or something, or we'll just put. You can start building up canvas by canvas on that one. we'll put little sections. It'll be like a canvas of the month club.
I could do that. I could definitely do that.
That would be fun. That'd be fun. I might have to get a bigger studio, but yeah, we'll figure something out.
You definitely gotta figure something out, man. Because art and geeking and gamer go hand in hand.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So.
Well, again, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on. It's been a blast, and whenever you guys want me on again, just let me know.
Oh, I will. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you.
And Travis, did you say goodnight?
I'm saying goodnight right now because I'm doing my little yeah.
And this is. Did you say goodnight, hon?
Good night, guys.
And this is Lady Rage signing off for Gamers Geek Radio. Oops, I didn't sign off. Hold on.
We're still live.
I hit the wrong button again.